There was someone very close to the Ayatollah in the Iranian parliament who gave an interview recently, and he said what Donald Trump has been communicating through back channels, through the Qataris, through the Ayatollah is, look, Donald Trump just wants to make it look like he's hit Iran. Can you just allow Donald Trump to strike a few locations, pretend it's a big deal, and then we can all move on? This way Donald Trump can look tough. That's the message that Donald Trump is allegedly sending through Qatar to the Ayatollah right now. And the message that the Ayatollah is sending back is basically, more is going to come out about you, Donald. Or here's what the Ayatollah Khomeini wrote as well. The Americans say, let's negotiate over your nuclear energy. And the result of the negotiation is supposed to be that you do not have this energy. If that's the case, there's no room for negotiation. But if negotiations are truly to take place, determining the outcome of the negotiations in advance is a wrong and foolish act. So the Ayatollah is calling Donald Trump a foolish negotiator, while also saying the island of corruption is only one such example. There's much more of this. Many other things will soon come to light, while saying Trump is a foolish negotiator. Now, if you don't believe the Ayatollah is hinting to Donald Trump that he's got dirt, then I've got some Trump Bibles to sell you right now. In addition, the Ayatollah's been talking tough back to Donald Trump. Well, when Donald Trump was recently aboard Air Force One, he was asked about Iran. What do you think they want to do? And Donald Trump goes, I don't think they want the consequences of not making a deal. Well, I'm reading for you what the Ayatollah is saying, who's also including in that we've got dirt on you, basically. Here, play this clip of Donald Trump saying, I don't think they want the consequences of not making a deal. Here, play this clip.
What are you expecting from these Iran talks in Geneva tomorrow?
So I'll be involved in those talks indirectly, and they'll be very important. We'll see what can happen. We had to send the B-2s. I hope they're going to be more reasonable. They want to make a deal.
Have you been told that a deal is next to impossible?
No, I think they want to make a deal. I don't think they want the consequences of not making a deal. They want to make a deal.
And meanwhile, you had Lindsey Graham saying anybody at the White House who thinks that the Ayatollah would honor a deal to give up their ambitions, you're a fool. Here's what Lindsey Graham has been saying. Now, back on Air Force One, Donald Trump is asked about what's going on in Gaza. And Trump pretends, with all of this happening, that there's peace in the Middle East, he says. That he says, we're now in phase 2 in Gaza. Everything's going great. There's a ceasefire. No, there isn't. There isn't.
Now, you have some flames here and there, but we essentially have peace in the Middle East. And that happened primarily when we did the B-2 attack on the potential nuclear power. They would have had a nuclear weapon within 1 month. If that happened, it would have been a whole different deal.
It's interesting because when I was a litigator, one of the ways we would identify whether there were documents missing in document productions was not by hacking. We would send third-party subpoenas to other individuals and get their documents and compare it to what the defendant would produce or not produce, right? And so here, when you have the hacks of people directed who are in the Epstein files, and you start seeing what their emails look like, and you compare it to what has been produced, that is significant. And I also think, let's be clear, the Iranian hackers are top-notch hackers. Like they're I'm not trying to praise it. Just they have a very good hacking team. Great hackers can look at those Epstein files and see the emails and see everybody who's attached, and they could get a roadmap of people's, how sloppy it was handled by the DOJ. They can get a roadmap of who now to engage in spear phishing operations against as well. Have the millions of Epstein files that the Trump regime continues to conceal, have they been hacked by a foreign government? Iran, perhaps. Have foreign governments Iran, perhaps, have they hacked into the emails of Donald Trump, of people in Donald Trump's regime, of other people who are identified in very grotesque and despicable ways in the Epstein files. We know that Iran has a history of hacking Donald Trump and people in his regime. And Ayatollah Khomeini, the supreme leader of Iran, has hinted that he possibly has information that could bring down Donald Trump and the regime. Here's what Khomeini says. This island of corruption is only one example. There is much more of this. Just as this was not apparent and then became exposed, there are many other things that will soon come to light. Everything we had ever heard about their corruption is one thing. This affair of that morally corrupt island is another altogether. These are indicative of what Western civilization and liberal democracy are. They proceed for 200, 300 years, and this is the ultimate outcome. Now, we know that in 2024, Iran hacked the Trump campaign with a spear phishing operation. Microsoft alerted the Trump regime that they were hacked. Frankly, the Trump regime knew they were hacked before Microsoft alerted them, but then the Trump regime had to go public when Microsoft had to go public with the data breach. So what did Iran get in 2024? You may recall someone by the name of Robert, who was representing the interests of Iran, went to media outlets to try to give them dirt on Donald Trump at that time. There was an indictment against Iranian hackers that followed in September of 2024. Thereafter, Iran hacked Trump's Truth social media platform in June of 2025. And Iran said that they got a lot of sensitive information by hacking Truth Social. Whether that's true or not, we don't yet know what they got in that hack, but it is undisputed that they hacked Truth Social when Trump struck Iran, when he attacked Iran's nuclear facilities back last June. Iran utilizes very sophisticated hacker groups. The 313 team is one such group, and other Iranian-backed hacker groups have been out there going after the Trump regime, and going after people who are affiliated with the Trump regime and who are affiliated with Epstein. One of the people who were hacked that had a treasure trove of Epstein emails that the Iranian-backed hacker group Handala gave to DDoS, which stands for Distributed Denial of Secrets, a website which is widely considered to be the successor of WikiLeaks. They hacked former Israeli Prime Minister Ehud Barak. Dropsite News was the first to report on that hack. We reported it here on the Meidas Touch Network, and this was many, many months ago. That hack was May of 2025 or so. By the way, that was before the other hack in June of 2025 on Donald Trump's Truth Social platform. And so Iran had been loading these Epstein documents from Ehud Barak, showing that Epstein and Ehud Barak were involved in these arms deals across the world, when people were saying, oh, it's just conspiratorial that Epstein was involved in all of these things. And we know Epstein is involved in all of these things. Here's how it was described, the emails that they got, that the hacker group got